This broadcast is brought to you in part by Hendricks Chevrolet, celebrating 75 years in the Valley, and State Center Community College District, covering Fresno, Reedley, Oakhurst, Madera, and Clovis. Thank you for your support.
High school football on CMAC. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dan Taylor, joined by the coach, Fred Clark. And Fred, tonight, up for grabs, sole possession of first place in the North Yosemite League.
Yes, the winner of this game is going to have definitely the upper hand and be totally in the driver's seat, especially in Sunnyside's case. And we have a high-scoring, wide-open offense by Sunnyside and a very tough defense by Torres. Should be a great game.
And the Torres Toros from Madera have won the toss. They are going to kick off, and we are underway from Sunnyside Stadium. Little pooch kick snared by the Wildcats at about the 25-yard line, and that's about as far as they're going to go on this opening kickoff. Fred, both these teams come in at 4-0, 5-2 overall, but very big contrast, as you earlier pointed out.
Yeah, just huge contrast. The Toros, they like to play a physical ball, smash mouth football, and the Wildcats, they like to light it up. So we have a contrast, and Sunnyside speed against Torres' pluggishness.
Tanner Wilson, the talented quarterback, up behind the center there in the shotgun, and he's going to give it to the back to start things off. Sanjay Burton, and he is wrestled down without gaining any positive yardage. Correction, Caden Pacheco, the ball carrier.
Tonight, Dan, it's 81 degrees, very little breeze to speak of, just a great night for football. Mid-October, 81 degrees.
Both these schools coming in, having won 4 consecutive games, 4-0 in North Yosemite League play, sitting at the top of the standings. Wilson looks for a receiver, dumps it off to Jones, and he breaks a tackle, picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards.
Had Torres had him stopped for negative yardage, he was able to break away and get a decent gain out of that, bring third down a little bit more manageable.
So brings up third down and 6, ball resting on the 30-yard line. And they're going to keep it on the ground. And it looks as though they do have enough yardage for the first down. Daquan Jones, the running back on the play.
Sunnyside's trying to take advantage of Torres only having a 3-man front and maybe trying to establish a run. This is a little bit of a surprise.
3 wide receivers at the top of your screen. Wilson with the keeper. He's got 10 yards, 15. He's got clear field ahead of him. Touchdown, Sunnyside. Tanner Wilson going 65 yards with the quarterback keeper. And Sunnyside is on the board first.
And we will see them customarily, as their custom, go for a 2-point conversion here after the first touchdown. Yeah, once Wilson got right that, boom, got by that initial line, nobody touched him.
So the Wildcats to go for 2. Wilson under pressure, heaves it up, and it's caught. C.J. Jones.
Torres had 4 defenders within 5 yards of that. And Jones is able just to reach up and pluck it away for that 2-point conversion. And Sunnyside, less than 2 minutes into the game, has an 8-0 lead.
You know, coaches can X and O for hours and hours on a chalkboard and not draw it up any better than what they managed to pull off right there.
No doubt.
So Sunnyside strikes first, the 65-yard scoring run by Tanner Wilson, their terrific young quarterback. And then on the 2-point conversion, Wilson having to just heave it up under intense pressure And that's C.J. Jones, his outstanding receiver on the other end, pulls it down in the end zone, and it's an 8-0 lead.
This is exactly how the Toros did not want to start this game off, and it looked the first few defensive plays, they looked pretty good there. They gave up the first down, and then the play later, the Wildcats are in the end zone, and Torres wanted this game to go a little bit slower. They were not counting on that.
So Tanner Wilson to kick off. Pooch kicks it. And the short kick.
And if you're going to pooch kick it, that is the perfect pooch kick. It drops right in front of the receiver. He has really no time. Fortunate he didn't lose that ball, Dan.
Indeed.
But I don't like pooch kicks at all. As talking with Bill Biggs out at La Monica last night, we were both getting all animated about the idea of the pooch kick. Neither one of us old men liked it.
So Jose Soriano in the quarterback role for the Torres High Toros. He's going to throw on first down. Quick hitter over the arms of his receiver, Joseph Bass.
Soriano, he had his man open, just barely overthrew him.
But Fred's Torres generally likes to keep the ball on the ground for the most part.
They're not Air Coryell. But, you know, despite that, 2 of the games that they've won on the last play of the game on passes that went 20-plus yards, so they can put it up. It's just not their forte.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Toros. They put the receiver in motion. That's Moreno. Give goes to the back, and he bursts through, and he's up around the 43-yard line, which is where he needed to be for a first down. And indeed, he's got the first down.
And the Wildcats had 10 men within a few yards of each other on that last play, right up crowding the line of scrimmage, because they know what the Toros are going to try and do. But once you break that initial containment or initial hit, and you've got everybody cheated up there, you can really make some big yards.
So after the first down, the Toros are going to come out and try to throw the football, but Moreno under a lot of pressure, and he just throws it away.
Boy, these light-colored numbers the Toros have make it pretty tough identification, don't they?
Yes. So 2nd down and 10 for Torres High on the 43-yard line. Give goes to the back, and he bowls his way for about 5 yards. Brings up a 3rd and about 5.
The Wildcats, again, they had like 8 in the box, Dan.
Joseph Bass, the ball carrier. Well, the Toros have a very, very big offensive line. Big play for the Toros, 3rd and 7. Terrific catch and a first down, and a penalty flag flying as we have an injured receiver down on the turf.
I didn't have any problem with that. After seeing it on the replay, maybe I'll have a problem with it, but it just looked like a good hit, but he was extended, that he was able to come down and hold on to the ball after that hit. That says something.
Let's see the word from our referee as he comes over. So a personal foul the call, and of course the receiver was in a defenseless position as you look at the replay.
Yeah, okay. What a job he did holding on to that. Man, he took a hit.
That was a terrific catch.
That was Josiah Salinas.
Josiah Salinas. He heads over to the Torres sideline.
Give it a couple.
Will bring the ball to the 28-yard line.
He's giving some high fives. He just got the wind knocked out of him. He'll be back.
First and 10. Give going to Bass. Breaks a tackle and continues to keep the legs churning and gets down to the 28-yard line. Picks up about 4, maybe 5 yards.
Yeah, he's not an easy stop. And this is what the Toros like to do. And this is something, Dan, I love this kind of football. Now, they get 4 or 5 yards, and they're not in any hurry. You know, plays coming in, they're not dashing to the line of scrimmage. They want to take their time.
Going to the air, Moreno got him in, wide open, touchdown, Toros. Armani Sua hauls that one in, but he was wide open running down the middle. Terrific grab and pass by Jose Soriano. Now will the Toros go for 2 to even it up?
I'd be surprised. Well, I'm surprised.
So it is still possible, huh?
Yes, yeah. I can still be surprised.
Castillo in motion, give going up the middle to Bass, down near the goal line. But he does not get in. And the 2-point attempt fails, and our scoreboard reads 8-6 Sunnyside.
This is something that Sunnyside has done ever since Gordon Wood has been the head coach. When they get that first touchdown, they will always go for 2. And I think it's a good psychological advantage. Even if you don't do it, it shows the other team, okay, you cannot take anything they do lightly. Don't be surprised with anything. And if you have an 8-point lead, it still puts pressure on the other team. Not only do they have to get the 6 on, but they have to, you know, get that extra conversion just to even it up. Right now, Torres wasn't able to convert. This early in the game, Dan, I would have just went just go for the PAT. You've got plenty of time left, and you try and get points every chance you can.
So Jones and Jones deep for the kickoff. C.J. Jones will be at the top of your screen. He wears number 1. Shamar Jones at the bottom of your screen. He wears number 3. And the Toros send it to Shamar in the direction of Shamar Jones, but well over his head and into the end zone. That'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
And that's my favorite kickoff, into the end zone for a touchback.
So it's 8-6 Sunnyside here from Sunnyside Stadium. This battle of North Yosemite League co-leaders, Sunnyside and Matilda Torres High School. If you're a longtime area resident and not familiar, well, Matilda Torres High School opened in 2020 in Madera. Matilda Torres, a 37-year teacher, counselor in the Madera Unified District. And the Toros in their second season of playing football. And they're out and playing very impressively.
And they started out last year, their first game playing at all, or the first season playing at all. They won 2 games, and they were competitive in most of their games.
Wilson going up top. He's got C.J. Jones, and he overthrows him.
And Jones had a step on the double coverage. Jones has quite the size advantage, size and reach on his defenders.
So on second down, Tanner Wilson looking to throw, but he's under pressure, and he's not going to get any yardage to speak of, maybe a yard, maybe two at most, before he is brought down. But putting pressure on Tanner Wilson, the goal of a lot of defenses that go up against Sunnyside.
Well, Sunnyside's got such skill at the quarterback and the wide receiver positions, and your defensive coordinators, they have all week to come up with some game plans, and come playoff time, teams are going to have an opportunity to check this out, and you're going to have a lot more pressure on him. And teams haven't jammed their receivers at the line of scrimmage to try and slow him down a little bit. I mean, a half of a second can just disrupt a pattern, like right there.
Wilson in and out of the hands of Sanjay Burton. And that's going to bring up 4th down.
And what Torres needs to be cognizant about is your quarterback is also your punter, so all kinds of fun things can happen.
Took the words right out of my mouth. You've always got to guard against that, with Tanner Wilson being the punter as well. He's one of those guys that likes to boot it on the run. Low snap, and he's got pressure. Barely gets it off, and it is a very short kick. But it's going to take a Sunnyside bounce out to the 37-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats down it into Torres. Toros will take over.
He was fortunate getting that away at all.
So a big break for the Toros as their defensive pressure forced a very short punt. And the Toros will begin this drive from the 37-yard line of the Wildcats.
Real quickly, having your quarterback as a punter, he didn't panic and take a knee, and a lot of times that's what a punter will do in this case in high school, and then you're really in trouble. He kept his head about him and got rid of the ball.
Well, Torres calls a timeout. They were a little concerned with that formation and the play clock running down, so they quickly jump in and take a timeout. And Joe Marquez, the Torres coach, has really done a terrific job building this program.
Well, you know how I'm going to editorialize a little bit every game, Dan. You're used to this now. Joe Marquez, he was a head coach at Fresno High for 4 years, and he got a raw deal there. And if Fresno High would have really been thinking about keeping their program going up, they never would have let him go. They never would have let him get away. And it was all their administration. It had nothing to do with him. And Torres did a great job picking this man up to build their program from the ground up. Something else, I think they may only had 10 players on the field when they called timeout.
So he very alertly burns a timeout to avoid a penalty. And Jose Soriano brings his teammates up to the line of scrimmage. They've loaded up the box, Sunnyside has. And Bass gets past the initial wall of defenders, picks up maybe a couple of yards to the 35. We'll see where it's spotted.
And very deliberate.
So second down and about 9 yards for the Toros.
That is the slowest no-huddle offense I've seen. I love it.
Allen once again there loading up the box on defense. Bass gets the ball, and he'll pick up, well, he'll get across the 35. And that's going to bring up third down and about 6-7 yards for a first down. The Sunnyside defense is daring Torres to put the ball in the air.
Oh, yeah.
And that's dangerous because they've already been burned once for a touchdown. This time they drop 4 defenders back. Soriano wide open. Got the first down and then some. Spins toward the sideline, and he's brought down at about the 17-yard line.
Moreno just went out far enough, just enough. He knew where he had to go to get the first down. Stopped, waited, and then really made a couple of good moves.
Plays all coming in from the sideline. Jose Soriano brings it in. Now up under center, a rarity. And he's able, with the hard count, to force Sunnyside to jump.
Oh, I love this offense.
There you hear our referee tonight. Fred, who we got out there in the different colored caps?
After this play, we'll run him down.
Soriano giving it to Bass, and he is caught at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Okay, the referee is Angelo Pointer. The umpire is Carvel Jones. Jeffrey Schaefer is a head linesman. Brandon Robinson is a field judge. Dean Musgrove is a line judge. Richard Vescarondo is a side judge, and Ty Locke is your back judge for this evening.
So 2nd and 5 now. Ball at the 12-yard line of the Sunnyside Wildcats. Torres driving, hoping to be able to take a lead here in the first quarter from Sunnyside Stadium. Bass picks his way through, continues to bowl down near the 10-yard line. So it brings up a third and about 2 yards for the Toros.
You see, with Bass never like charges, it's like he's picking his holes, he's waiting for his blocks, but then at contact time, you really got to hit him to slow him down. He is a bull.
He's a very patient runner. He looks for that hole to open. 3rd down and 3.
Sunnyside is really stacked now.
Bass still churning. Teammates are motioning that it should be a first down, but it only counts when the striped shirts do it.
You're real close. It's going to be 4th and a couple of feet.
And it would appear as though the Toros are going to go for it. So Soriano over at the sideline getting the play call from his coaches, comes back out onto the field now.
Yep, I thought he was going to go down under center again, and he is.
And he himself, with a little help from the back behind him, is going to try to push his way over for the first down.
Look from here like that initial surge was enough.
And our referee does in fact signal. We've got a first down for the Toros. So that makes it a 1st and goal, ball at the 8-yard line. Three receivers at the top of your screen. Soriano this time out of the shotgun. Going to go to the air. Touchdown. Soriano with a very quick release.
Well, you had pointed that out in the pregame drills. Soriano, man, he just gets it. He flicks it real quick. He's got some authority on that.
And Josiah Salinas pulls it in for the touchdown. And he really gets something on the ball as well. They're in a hurry.
That's just a perfect type of drive that the Toros like to do. I mean, they pound it on the ground and get a key first down and a touchdown through the air. They're going to go for 2 again.
Indeed, they line up for 2. And I think we're getting a sideline warning because of music being played over the PA system. That's in fact what has happened. Soriano with a keeper, fakes the handoff, and trots into the end zone.
Well, that was Bass on a Wildcat. We didn't catch that one.
Very good, very good. So the Toros jump on top 14-8 over the Sunnyside Wildcats with 1:13 to play here in the first quarter from Sunnyside Stadium. Glad you're with us tonight on CMAC for North Yosemite League football.
Dan, no matter what happens the rest of the game, how the Toros have played this first quarter is exactly how they drew it up. Well, with the exception of that long run by Wilson for Sunnyside's touchdown, but they wanted to keep the ball out of Sunnyside's hands, and I think Sunnyside's run, 7 plays this quarter so far, and the Toros have held on to the ball and eaten the clock.
Well, a good difference from the Sunnyside team that we saw about 3 weeks ago. In that game that we saw 3 weeks ago, they racked up 22 penalties.
Yeah.
And tonight just 1 so far, so that's a big, big difference as the Toros are going to kick it off. C.J. Jones. Now, that looked to me as though he signaled a fair catch. I'm very surprised they're letting this go as he's now out to the 35, and he's run out of bounds, I should say, at about the 30-yard line. But he waved his arm at the goal line,
too.
And that sure looked like a fair catch to me.
Maybe the lights were in his eyes, Dan.
So with 1:06 to play. With 1:06 to play here in the first quarter, Sunnyside finds itself trailing in this game 14-8.
Okay, Torres still going to that 3-man front. 5 backers.
Give goes to Pacheco, and Pacheco picks up about 3, maybe 4 yards. Wilson going up top. He's got a receiver, and he's got it. Down to the 24-yard line.
That was Sanjay Burton, Dan, and you talk about a big-time catch. I mean, the coverage was tight. The ball was thrown perfectly, and you don't see that kind of a catch 9 out of 10 times at this level.
Outstanding throw and grab as he got a couple of defenders hanging all over him. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, now down at the 25-yard line. Wilson scrambling, has a receiver open. And that's Sanjay Burton brought down at about the 9-yard line.
And this is exactly the rhythm the Wildcats want to be in, get the other team on their heels a little bit. And that's the end of the first quarter, Dan.
So an impressive first quarter, some big plays, a 65-yard scoring run by Tanner Wilson for the first score of the game. And that huge pass play that puts Sunnyside deep in Torres territory, and they are now 1st and goal from the 8-yard line as these two teams are huddling up around their coaches. one thing that's interesting, Fred, is we are seeing Torres get pressure on Wilson, but Wilson's also got that kind of foot speed to evade pressure and get off a throw on the run very well.
Yeah, and if he can buy himself time like that, and he's got those athletic receivers that have some size on them that they can get open. Those are some big bodies. A constant chess game.
It is. C.J. Jones, Malachi Barnes, Sanjay Burton, three of the better receivers in the Valley. So the team switching sides. And Sunnyside with the football, 1st and 8 from the 8-yard, 1st and goal, I should say, from the 8-yard line.
Boy, look at the size advantage here with the wideouts, the DBs.
They're going to keep it on the ground, and they're going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Daquan Jones might have picked up a yard, but not much more.
And the Toros defensive brain trust is in the booth right next to us, and they're scratching their heads trying to stay ahead of things up here.
I wondered why you had that glass against the window. Wilson going to try to throw, flush from the pocket, trying to run, and he gets, I think he may have lost a yard or two there.
Wilson was sacked in the backfield.
Strong defensive effort by the Toros.
That was a good coverage sack there too, because the Toros are a little undersized in their defensive backfield, but they held their men nice and gave their defensive line a chance to collapse on Wilson.
So it's 3rd and 10 now from the 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line, a loss of 2 on that play.
There we go.
Wilson now rolling to their side. He's going to tuck it up and run, and he's going to get into the corner of the end zone for a touchdown.
And Wilson did a good job there following his blocks. It looked like they had him contained, and he just cut out and then came back in. That's what I think what Sunnyside really needs to be doing is get him out, get him moving, and give his receivers a chance to get open. I'm sure their staff is well aware of this.
So Wilson with his 2nd touchdown of the game on the ground. The first one covering 65 yards, this one covering 10 yards. Now they're going to go for 2. And pass ruled incomplete, so it will remain a 14-14 tie.
Burton did a heck of a job trying to squeeze his hands underneath that, just a little bit short.
But indeed, the Toros are managing to get pressure on Wilson, flush him out of the pocket and make him throw on the run. So here early in the 2nd quarter, we're tied at 14. In this battle of 2 teams tied for 1st place in the North Yosemite League.
And when you look at the 2 remaining games, Sunnyside's 2 last games they're going to be a very heavy favorite in both games, and the Toros could be a little bit tougher. You know, they close out against Madera South, and what the Stallions are hoping for is to run the table themselves, have the Toros win tonight, and then beat the Toros on the last game of the season up in Madera. Tall order.
Indeed. You look at the North Yosemite League standings. You've got Sunnyside and Torres tied at 4-0, but Madera South, they're right there at 3-1. Their lone loss in NYL play coming to Sunnyside. McLean 3-1 as well. And then Fresno High and Hoover both 1-3. Roosevelt and Sanger West yet to win in North Yosemite League play.
Well, Roosevelt's probably about the best 0-7 team that I have in recent memory, because every game they've played, they've been in it. Some they've had a decent lead and let it get away.
And it's a real testament to the coaching staff and to the players that they continue to play hard.
Yeah.
4-quarter football, even though they have yet to win this year. Dwayne Wright and his staff doing a terrific job, and those young men are really playing hard.
And the game they had, the NYL opener against this Torres team, it was here in Sunnyside Stadium, and the Toros got a 25-yard touchdown on the last play of the game. It would have sent it into overtime. And games like that just crush you, you know, when you've battled and you lose like that. But the Rough Riders have, you know, they're still playing competitively, and they may get their first win out of McLean against Hoover tonight.
So the Toros with the football on the 33-yard line. Soriano, just overthrew his receiver near midfield, incomplete. Fred, before the game, you noted a special presentation taking place at midfield during the coin toss.
Yeah, the longtime groundskeeper here at Sunnyside Stadium, Rick Perez, he was honored. I guess he's retired, and I hadn't seen him out here in a couple of years, and he was with Valerie Davis from the Fresno Unified School Board, and they had a nice presentation for Rick. What a good guy he is. Always kept this field in fantastic shape.
On second down, Toros with 3 wide receivers to the left, and the right side of their offensive line must have forgotten the snap count because they jumped.
Penalty, replay second down.
So 5 yards will be marched off, and they'll repeat second down.
When you like that ground and pound offense, you have something like that happen, and you have to go 15 yards instead of 10, and now you only have maybe 2 plays to do it. Not too much fun.
Low snap, Soriano now under pressure, looking for a receiver, and he's got one. Ball skips off the turf, incomplete.
Got flags down again, Dan.
Is that this one?
Do we have a call, or did we just have a drop flag?
Here comes the call.
Want to decline the penalty? And downfield. Yeah, illegal man downfield on the offense. Yeah. Decline, which is third down.
So there you heard the penalty, an ineligible man downfield brings up a third down. And that happens a lot when a quarterback's flushed out of the pocket. If it's a timing route, now the quarterback's flushed out of the pocket, but the linemen have done their job. They've held to a certain count and then released as they're taught. Only the quarterback is running around for his life and hasn't gotten a throw off yet.
And then your right guard's down there looking to throw a block.
Soriano up top, nobody there, intercepted. Ball intercepted by Caden Pacheco.
Now there's flags down. I wonder if we had a hold back here before.
Is that why there was no wide receiver anywhere near the ball? Let's hear.
Number 7. That's a 10-yard penalty.
I think they'll decline that one, Dan. Uh-oh.
Pass interference on the defense, number 7. That's a 5th penalty. First.
It's going to give the Toros a first down after the referee, Angelo Pointer, got that thing straightened out. I certainly didn't see any offensive pass interference.
Well, it was a little odd, exactly, that they would call offensive pass interference, but they got their communications sorted out. So Torres gets a big first down rather than having to punt the football away.
They said it was shy of the first down, so we're having a third down and inches. Okay.
Okay, the flags are in place. You're right. It's third and, yeah, you're right. Just a couple of inches, it looks like.
Now, how could this be when it was a 5-yard penalty to make it 15, and this is a 15-yard penalty? How could it be short? I would definitely, if I were
Yeah, I
to-
think there's going to be some discussion down here. Well,
yeah, that I've never, maybe it was a 4.5-yard illegal procedure penalty.
Soriano hits his man wide open down to the 35 inside Sunnyside territory, brought down to the 32-yard line, and that is Pareda with a grab and run.
And Pareda doesn't have a heck of a lot of size. He was tough to tackle, and he was not giving up the football. So I guess that makes the illegal procedure penalty a moot point, doesn't it?
Indeed it does. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats on the Sunnyside 32-yard line. Bass takes the handoff. He's got plenty of room to run, and he is still running inside the 15, inside the 20, I should say, down to about the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Got 2 flags coming in. That's probably a hold. Yep.
Holding. Called against the Torres.
You know, Dan, if you're around football games enough, you find things that, and you and I have been over this, even baseball game, football, sometimes you just find things you've never seen before. Tonight, I'm going to focus on the Sunnyside band, and their band director is sitting on a scaffolding playing a clarinet. I've never seen that before. And I'm impressed he got up on the scaffolding.
So brings up first and 20 at about the 20-yard line. This is 1st and 8. The run picks up about 3 yards for the Toros.
Did you ever play a musical instrument?
I did, played the trumpet.
Okay.
You?
No. I could do a kazoo after a few beers. I've never known
Played the
anybody
piano and the trumpet.
I've never known anybody that played a clarinet.
I had an aunt that was in the band at Oregon State and played the clarinet.
All right.
Yeah. Soriano, receiver is open. He's got it. Touchdown, Torres.
Got flags down here. I think this is coming back.
Waiting to hear the call. But indeed, they are marching the Toros back.
Line. Tight end was covered up.
Said the tight end was covered.
Legal player downfield. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
You know, I have a hard time with that because that was such a quick, precise play.
Yeah, I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah, I would love to see that again because I wonder how an eligible player could have gotten downfield so quickly.
Yeah, well, they said the tight end was covered, so I guess that did make him ineligible. I certainly didn't see it.
Up in the air, incomplete.
They could have called a
Let's
hold
take
on
another look
that
at that.
one,
Let's
too.
take another look at that one, Fred. See if you can play with a penalty and see if we can pick that up. Yeah,
I didn't see a thing. The lineup looked perfect to me.
Well, I was looking across the way to see if we had people going berserk on the Torres sideline. I didn't notice it. So on 3rd down, Soriano goes down. Big loss, maybe a 5-yard loss. Very costly play.
Looked like he was almost squared out of that, and Sunnyside had good pursuit on that.
So it brings up 4th and 15 now. And it would appear that the Toros are going to punt this football away.
Definitely keeping an eye on this. Sunnyside, I think they're going to be just holding back. Yeah.
C.J. Jones, the lone returner, and it's going to be downed at the 10-yard line by the Toros. So frustration for the Toros on that drive. Thought they had a touchdown, only to have it called back for an ineligible receiver downfield.
But they held on to the ball close to 5 minutes on that too.
And Sunnyside takes over.
And both of Sunnyside's touchdowns, boy, they've come quick. And
lightning strikes.
This
You're
is
right.
what they do.
So they begin this possession at their own 11-yard line. 4 receivers at the right of your screen. Tanner Wilson can't find an initial receiver. Now intercepted. And the Toros get the ball right back at the 20-yard line.
That ball went right out of Burton's hands. It looked like he had that and just squirted out.
Josiah Salinas coming up with the interception. Penalty flag flies in a location and a time after the play that is often an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Let's take another look. Here you see it, Fred.
Yeah.
Right through the hands of the receiver. So on the turnover, Torres regains possession of the football, and it's placed at the 19-yard line at Sunnyside. Jose Soriano working out of the shotgun. He's got Joseph Bass behind him in the backfield. Gives to Bass. Oh, he's got a gap, and he's able to pick up about 4, maybe 5 yards up the middle.
And it momentarily freezes the defensive line for Sunnyside. They're not sure if it's going to be go first or the quarterback's going to take off, so they're just frozen for just a second. That gives Bass enough time to do a little slice through and get some good positive yardage.
So they'll say he got 4 yards, and it puts the football at the 6-yard line.
That took
a
a
correction
long,
at the 15-yard line, 6 yards to go for the first down.
took a long time for 4 yards there, didn't it?
It did. Soriano wants to throw, flushed from the pocket, brought down inside the 15.
Solid hit.
And it's third down.
So Jose Soriano on the keeper runs the football to the Sunnyside 14-yard line. They've got to get inside the 10 for the first down. 14-14 our score, 5:50 to play in the first half from Sunnyside Stadium. The co-leaders in the North Yosemite League. Give goes to the back in motion. He turns the corner up near the first down flag. Did he get it? Fred is frantically shaking his head no.
Close. About a yard and a half. I wonder if they're going to go with that Wildcat again.
So it brings up 4th and 1. And I'll try not to be fooled this time if indeed they do.
Taking a lot of time here.
They are. 4th and 1. Ball on the 10-yard line. and Sunnyside takes a timeout. So the Wildcat defense wants to talk this one over, Fred.
Well, Dan, the way it was going, it looked like, our back judge was already starting the countdown for too much time. I thought it was just within a fraction of a second, the whistle was going to blow for too much time.
So the Torres Toros hoping to capitalize on that interception. They got a big break in this 14-14 game, and they'd like to take advantage and put some points on the scoreboard.
Let's see if we have any other scores anywhere.
Oh, big game going on tonight in Kingsburg. 7-0 Vikings and the 7-0 rivals from Central Valley Christian.
San Joaquin Memorial's really putting it on board right now. It's 28-0 with 7 seconds gone in the second quarter. Yeah, that Kingsburg CVC game, I saw CVC earlier in the season against Clovis North, and good game, and they beat North by, I think, 13 points. That's a good football team.
Give goes to the back, who gets tripped in the backfield, and he may have been brought down shy of the first down. The Wildcats coming off celebrating as if they have managed to hold. And indeed they have. So Sunnyside holds on fourth down, and they take over the football at the 9-yard line.
That was a key play for the Wildcats, because now the Toros have had the ball down inside the 30. The last 2 times they've come down and they came away with no points. They got a turnover. You have to capitalize. You can't let teams like Sunnyside off the hook like that. You got to put on the points when you can. Sunnyside, they were in a little bit of disarray after that interception. See if they've calmed things down now.
Well, the Sunnyside Wildcats able to breathe a big sigh of relief. Tanner Wilson going deep. He's got a receiver out of bounds. Nope, they're saying it's a catch. At the 42-yard line, big grab on a 32-yard pass to C.J. Jones.
Gets you out of the jam real quick, doesn't it? Here we go. Boy, these Wildcat receivers can really make some catches.
They're very good. That ball was really well thrown. Wilson rolling to the near side, looking for a receiver, can't find one. Now dodges a couple of defenders and slides out of bounds. Picks up about 4 yards on the play.
Gain of 4 on the play. Second down.
Wilson's got some speed. He can be deceptive. He was looking to make something happen. It looked like he wanted to cut back inside and thought better of it. Still came up with a good solid 4 on that.
Second down, about 6 yards to go. Give goes to the back. That is Pre. And he gets across midfield before being run out of bounds.
Short a little over a yard on this. But the Wildcats do not punt when they have less than 4 yards to go on fourth down, pretty much wherever they are on the field. I don't always agree with that, but it does give you some exciting football.
3rd and 1. Ball just across midfield. Wilson to C.J. Jones, complete. And then he is run out of bounds at the 44. So big first down for the Wildcats. They keep churning up the yardage on this possession.
Well, C.J. and Shamar Jones, Burton, Barnes, all those guys are so good at making the first tackle miss.
Daquan Jones brings it up to about the 36-yard line. Picks up about 4 yards. Looking at the 2nd and 5, so we'll give him credit for 5 yards. Once again, Jones with the football up near the 30-yard line, and he's got a first down.
like the Wildcats' play selection here.
Inside of 3 minutes to play here in the first half from Sunnyside Stadium. 14-14 tie, but the Wildcats are moving the football.
Timeout.
And Torres High is going to take a timeout.
Yeah, they're on their heels right now, Dan, and they had an opportunity to get the lead in this game, and it got away from them, and this is not lost on their coaching staff right now. They want to try and stop the bleeding real quick.
Sunnyside, a very impressive drive, able to not only throw the football effectively, but they are running the ball very, very well. And the Torres front would appear to be very fatigued at this point.
And the Toros do not have a lot of depth.
Only about 31, 32 players suited up tonight for this game. And it's a very young program. The school, 90+% of the student body are sophomores and freshmen. And that's reflected, of course, on the varsity football team.
And the coaches have to love this, you know, when you're tied for the league lead late in the season like this. It's a lot of promise for the future.
Wilson, wide open receiver down the middle for the touchdown. Sanjay Burton.
And Burton took a really physical shove right when he was crossing the goal line and was able to keep a hold of the ball.
Tanner Wilson with a touchdown toss right on the money with 2:36 to go here until the half.
It was close to coughing that up. He did a good job holding on to that.
And Sunnyside wants a timeout.
A lot of John going from the coaching staffs that look like across the field there.
You know, I was noticing that too. Very strange. So Sunnyside going up 20-14 here with 2:36 to play in the first half. It was a very balanced drive down the field.
I was real impressed by the Wildcats play calling on that. They really mixed it up nice.
So the two teams back out onto the field for the point after or points after. We'll see how Sunnyside is going to line it up. Generally, of course, they have a tendency to go for two. And they're going to go with that offset, off-balance line. Tanner Wilson throws it up for grabs, and it's knocked down by the Torres defender, and the two-point attempt fails. So that leaves us with a 20-14 score as the Sunnyside Wildcats take the lead here with 2:36 remaining until halftime. And Fred, all you can say is Torres really blew a couple of big opportunities there.
Oh, yeah. And that'll be eaten on them. Let's see how they respond now. They've got 2.5 minutes. They have plenty of time right now to do something.
Indeed, Fred. 2:36 to go. They have shown that ability to strike quickly, and it'll be interesting to see how they come back offensively and try to put a drive together here.
Well, what they really don't want to do, don't get too desperate yet. Don't just throw it up right now. Keep doing what's got you here. And, you know, then you get down within a minute or so, then you might be able to get a little bit desperate. But what they don't want to do right now, go into panic mode, turn the ball over, and then dig themselves into a hole.
Well, one thing's for certain, Tanner Wilson will likely pooch kick it. So they probably will be starting this drive. The ball squirting all around the field. And the Toros leap on the ball at the 29-yard line.
I applaud that. That is my favorite type of short kick. Keep it on the ground, it's like a knuckleball. Nobody knows where it's going, and then the fun really begins. As we saw there.
So Torres High to begin this drive from the 29-yard line.
We have Sunnyside again next week versus McLean, Dan.
Should be interesting to see. Soriano's got his receiver. He's at the 45. Now at midfield, a blocker in front of him. He's across midfield to the 30. Thrown out of bounds, helmet thrown off. We've got penalty flags everywhere, and that's likely going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that'll push it down even farther. Flung out of bounds at the 26-yard line. We'll see what's coming next.
All those things I said about playing cautious, you know, take it slow, disregard that.
Face mask. The 15-yard penalty.
Now there you saw and heard the personal foul, face mask call.
That wasn't just a face mask, that was like a helmet rip.
Indeed it was, and that's going to march the football down to the 13-yard line. Big break for the Wildcat, for the Toros, I should say. Can they capitalize? They had a couple of breaks earlier in the quarter and couldn't. Soriano takes off running. He's got an easy route into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, they still gave the Wildcats 2 minutes and 3 seconds to respond to this. Now the Sunnyside coaching staff is not real happy about how Soriano ran into the end zone slowly. They're looking for a penalty. The officials are telling them to get back.
Yeah, they're pretty angry. They seem to feel that, and they're going to, let's take a look here as the extra point is up and good. But you see Soriano at the end of the run as he has a little bit of fun with this, and
this is still
no correction. This is the, there's the helmet being ripped off and the penalty there.
And here's that touchdown again, Dan. Oh, wrong. I'd like to see that touchdown play one more time if we have it. Here we go. This looked like it was a planned play all along.
So the extra point gives Torres a 21-20 lead with 2:03 to go until halftime.
Nothing like some of those ones Deion Sanders used to do when he was prancing into the end zone.
Exactly.
You know, something that surprises me is how well he's done as a head coach at Jackson State. I don't know the whole details, but he's got them.
Well, one of the things that's helped is he's got a terrific quarterback, his son.
Yep. Who's
an outstanding quarterback, and he's playing very good football. And Deion is doing very well there. On the run back, he breaks through the wave. Football's on the ground, and Torres has it. The officials say the ball was on the ground. The return man was down.
See if we can see that one again. It looked like it came loose before he was down. It doesn't make any difference in high school whether it did or not, just for our own curiosity.
So Sunnyside will have it 1st and 10 from the 24. Let's take a look here.
That was nice breaking away there.
Yes, the ball was well out. That ball was indeed out.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah.
That was real bad.
They missed that one. To the near side, Burton gets across the 30-yard line down at the 32. Pick up about 6 yards for the Wildcats. Minute 45 on the clock until halftime here at Sunnyside Stadium. Burton with the football, gets the first down and then some.
We've got some really unhappy coaches over on the Madera South side. That kickoff return was definitely a fumble. I don't know what happened in this one. It looked like he was down on this.
So 2nd and 4, first down from the 40-yard line. Wilson's going to throw it. Looking for a receiver. Now he's going to tuck it and run, and he's out of bounds at the 45. Brings up 2nd and 5, minute 19 until the half.
At Sunnyside, they have plenty of time. They have one timeout left, but with this quick strike offense, timeouts really aren't that significant.
Wilson following his blockers, looks to run, brought down right at the line. Did he get the first down? Brought down right where the first down marker was located. And it will be spotted behind the 50 at the Sunnyside 49. And that'll bring up 3rd and 1. Three receivers to the near side.
Torres is playing soft right now.
First down and then some. All the way down to the 42-yard line. So Daquan Jones with a big gain. And that takes it to the 38-yard line of Sunnyside, where it's 1st and 10. 31 seconds left. Wilson wants to unleash one, and he is going to be buried under an avalanche of pressure.
He did a good job just getting any type of yardage on that. And then the Wildcats are going to use their last timeout.
With 20 seconds left on the clock. So time for probably 3 plays at most. And they have shown time and time again the ability to strike very quickly and very big.
We'll have to halftime. I'll check and see what some of these other scores are. All I'm getting is, Bullard Memorial right now. Memorial's now 35-0. About 3.5 minutes left until halftime. Memorial for years was Bullard's little sister, and Bullard just use him for a speed bag. And the tide has really turned on this, and Bullard cannot be liking this at all.
Second and 10 from the 41-yard line. Wilson has plenty of time, throws. He's got his man down on the sideline. C.J. Jones hauls it in at the 29-yard line. So 6 seconds ticked off the clock on that play.
Yeah, you were right. Probably a good 3 plays.
Wilson down the middle. Couple of receivers. Leap for it.
He's at the 1-yard line.
He's at the 1-yard line indeed, Fred. They will spot it at the 1. They may have had too many men on the field.
Now, if this would have been at college or the NFL, that would have been the end of the half.
So just 4 seconds remain on the clock. Sunnyside will have 5 yards marched off, and that'll bring the football back to the 6-yard line.
If Sunnyside had any type of kicking game, this would have been ideal for a field goal.
2 seconds.
So you hear a referee asking that the clock have only 2 seconds on it.
Yeah, Joe Marquez is beside himself over there on the Torres sidelines.
Now they have added
2 seconds over there. The scorekeepers are trying
They've
to.
added 2 seconds instead of taking 2 seconds away. Now they've got it.
Torres called a timeout. It's going to be another discussion here.
So just 2 seconds left on the clock, but it'll probably take us 10 minutes to complete them, then get to halftime.
Have we seen this once or twice?
Indeed. So Sunnyside had a golden opportunity, ball at the 1-yard line, and a penalty pushes them back to the 6. They're down just 2 seconds left on the clock as they try to score to close out the half as they trail 21-20 to Torres High.
This has been quite the ball game tonight, Dan.
It's been terrific. We've seen some exciting action, some outstanding talent, and some frustrating missed opportunities. Wilson, he's got Jones alongside him in the backfield. Wilson looks for a receiver, fires into the end zone, he got his down. P.J. Jones pulls it in.
Those are daggers when a team scores at the end of the half at any level of football, but in high school, that is a dagger.
Well, there's some anger across the way being directed
is.
at the Sunnyside coaches because Tanner Wilson did some pointing in their direction after that touchdown pass, and now the Torres coaching staff is pointing back. And Tanner Wilson is smothered and thrown to the turf at the 20-yard line.
Well, there's no love lost right here, is
No,
there?
things getting a little chippy.
Halftime came just in time.
So that's halftime with our score 26-21. Sunnyside grabbing a lead there at the end of the half. And a very exciting first half of play here from Sunnyside Stadium. As the two teams head to the locker room, and we've got some exciting football still to come, but a bit of a break ahead for halftime, and we'll be back in a few minutes for the second half from Sunnyside Stadium. Center Community College District, covering Fresno, Reedley, Oakhurst, Madera, and Clovis. Thank you for your support. Welcome back to Sunnyside Stadium, where we've got a 26-21 game going on as Fred is looking for scores, but 2 seconds left in the half. Sunnyside scores to go up by 5, 26-21, a 47-point first half. We haven't seen anything like that this year.
No, and that second quarter particularly, Sunnyside really established what they like to do. Torres had a really good first quarter. The second quarter belonged to Sunnyside. because of that touchdown they got right at the end of the half.
Tanner Wilson with the first score of the night, a 65-yarder. And we're going to kick off to start the second half. Wilson with a pooch kick that's grabbed at the 36-yard line. And the Torres recipient just goes right down to 2 knees. And the Toros will begin the second half with the ball at their own 36-yard line. A very impressive drive to conclude the half, as you were alluding to, Fred, as the Toros march down the field, and combination of some pretty good passing calls as well as impressive run plays. Got them down to the 2-yard line. They got penalized a little bit, but managed to score there with 2 seconds to go and grab the lead.
Well, Dan, this is football's so different now than it was 40 years ago. You know, you score with 2 minutes left 40 years ago, you pretty much have the game in hand.
Bass up the middle, bouncing off the linebackers, and manages to get to the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. And a first down is 2 yards away.
You know, Dan, that half came at just the right time. Gave the teams a little bit of time to go in, cool off, and get refocused, because it was getting real chippy by both teams late in that first half. And coaches.
Jose Soriano gives again to Bass, and he continues to keep the legs churning and has a first down. He's been very impressive. A strong runner. Had the ball placed at the 48-yard line of the Toros.
That's what the Toros want to do. Again, they kind of got away from it a little bit, but they want to, you know, establish things on the ground and chew up the clock and keep Sunnyside's offense off the field.
Well, they like the fact that Sunnyside in the first half was packing the box and daring them to throw the football. Here's Bass, this time dancing over tacklers. Manages to get into Sunnyside territory, and the ball placed at the 44-yard line. Bring up a 2nd and 3. Give goes once again to Bass, who's hit in the backfield, and he's going to lose plenty. We'll see where they spot it, but he seemed to have his momentum stopped at midfield.
Hell, and that play was blown up there from the get-go. Somebody really missed assignments.
So it's going to be 3rd and 9 with the nose of the football resting on the 50-yard line.
Fresno High looks like they're on their way to their second win as they are defeating Sanger West 20-12 with 5 minutes left in the game.
Soriano with a hard count manages to pull the Wildcats offside, so they pick up 5 of those yards that were lost on the run of the previous play.
But it's still 3rd down.
Here we got about 4 yards to go.
So, big 4th down play, 4th and 4 for the Toros. Soriano looks to pass, hit as he throws, has his receiver, but it's not going to gain any positive yardage. In fact, it'll lose 3 yards. So Angel Parida manages to pull it in, but Soriano was hit as he threw the football. And Sunnyside will take over. No, that is 4th down. Now the scoreboard was showing the last play was 4th down. And
he probably would have been better off just knocking that one to the ground.
You're right.
He had no chance. He was on the line. He had no room to juke.
So the Toros will punt it away. Sunnyside sets up for a return. C.J. Jones, and he loses it, but he gets it back, and I believe Jones was able to regain possession. A little bit of indecisiveness coming in for that one, and it bounced off of him and then off of a Torres player.
Yeah, C.J. Jones, he did a good job on that. How often is the returner going to recover his own fumble? Here we go again. Wow. Good reaction by Jones.
Quick thinking to reach out and grab that football.
the reflex of athleticism and youth combined.
You say with envy?
Always dropping bowls on the floor.
Daquan Jones in the backfield. He takes the handoff. Coming to the near side. Officials whistle this play dead.
Defense. Legal substitution on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Illegal substitution on the defense.
So Sunnyside picks up 5 yards on the penalty. Give goes to the back, Pre, and he's ridden out of bounds. Correction, Pacheco. Homecoming night here at Sunnyside Stadium, Sunnyside High School.
On the
honoring their
defense.
classes.
It's a 15-yard penalty. It's a first down.
Missed that one. A 15-yard penalty.
Is that a delayed penalty over here?
Good question.
Okay.
So a face mask call. Pacheco with the football. Gets up to midfield before being brought down.
Yeah, they called the illegal substitution before they called the face mask penalty. Okay.
So second down now and 6 yards for Sunnyside from the 49-yard line. They're keeping it on the ground. Wilson himself going to run with it, and he's got plenty of room to run before he is brought down. Boy, that might have been a touchdown-saving tackle that brought him down at the 30-yard line.
That was definitely a touchdown-saving tackle. It looked like he was just about to make that last move. That Wilson, he's got some mobility, doesn't he, Dan?
Absolutely. He can hurt you in many, many ways. With the give, Jones, correction, Pacheco.
Jason Dixon with the carry.
The Toros really seem to be on their heels right now, too, Dan. They're not playing with that fire they had earlier in the game.
Well, they are not winning the battle of the lines at all, and that is costly for them. They've become very concerned about pass defense once again, and evades one tackler and brought down inside the 5-yard line. Jason Dixon, the ball carrier. So a big first down for Sunnyside. Makes it 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. And that would appear to be Daquan Jones, and he is over for the touchdown.
And that was just like it was drawn up. I mean, Sunnyside just went all the way down after that initial fumbled punt that they retained. Every play went for positive yardage. That was a nice drive.
Aided by a couple of penalties that tacked 20 yards on the drive for them.
No, that never hurts.
Not at all. Little shovel pass. Then Jones. So the 2-point conversion runs their advantage up by 13. Take another look here.
Oh, that was nice.
So the lead gathered with 2 seconds to go in the first half has now been extended aplenty. As Sunnyside up 34-21.
And Torres really needs to make themselves a break right now. They're going to have to go down and get some points on the board before this gets too out of hand with them. And Sunnyside, once you get some good line play and you dominate like they did on that last drive.
That ball's going to roll down inside the 10-yard line, and that's going to put Torres in a tough spot. They try to run it back out, but they're brought down at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to go out of bounds. They were just waiting and took a Sunnyside bounce.
Got a great Sunnyside bounce. Bit of a disaster for Torres initially, but they were able to run it back out at least to the 15-yard line. And this is an important drive for them. They've fallen 2 scores down. They've got to make something happen on this drive, or this game is going to get away from them.
Oh, big time. This is the darkest moment of the game for them right now.
Soriano to Bass. He'll pick up 2, maybe 3 yards.
The Wildcats defense are feeling it right now too. Get a little bit of that confidence going.
Trying to bring that defense up. Earlier we saw Sunnyside really had 11 men packed into the box, trying to stop the run, daring Torres to throw the football. They did very effectively in the first half. But now they're playing back. Soriano evades 1 tackler, can't get a receiver, slides near the 25-yard line where he needed to be for the first down.
Be a little short.
Not by much, though.
Here's a replay here.
Interesting spot. So clock continues to run with Sunnyside up 34-21. On this homecoming night in Sunnyside Stadium. Glad you've joined us here on CMAC. Bass, he's got the first down and then some.
Bass with the carry.
You know, Dan, I don't think I'd have Wilson playing on defense. He's coming out again. He's coming out now, but you've got a lot of guys down there, and doesn't seem like a great move to me.
Well, he's been in kind of a situational defensive player. He's come out generally in long yardage situations.
The Wildcats are doing a lot of substitutions now, trying to keep these guys fresh.
3 receivers to the near side. Soriano, quick pass, dropped.
It's one of those classic times of running before you have the ball secured.
Pareda fails to pull that one in. Second down and 10. Toros have to get beyond their own 38-yard line. The frustrating part about that is that receiver was open and had room to run.
Mm-hmm.
Soriano throwing behind his receiver, who pulled it in and has a first down.
Soriano, he threw that on his heels. He was just about to get hit.
Very accurate, very quick release. He's unloading the football before the defense can react. First and 10, ball at the 41-yard line. Soriano, another quick hitter, That's Pereira. He'll pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play.
And there was some hitting going on at the end of that one, too. He earned those 4 yards.
Indeed, there was. This battle of the co-leaders in the North Yosemite League. Victor tonight comes out with sole possession of first place in just 3 games remaining. 2 games remaining, is that right?
That is correct. And the Wildcats have a pretty easy path after tonight's game.
Bass, he's picked up 4, about a yard shy of the first down. He's near midfield.
Well, the Toros need to keep this up. So far, they've got about 30 yards on this drive. They have to finish this out with some points and get back into the game. But they're huffing and puffing with those big men going both ways.
Very important third down play for the Toros. Ball resting on the 50-yard line. All they need is a yard to keep this drive alive. Trailing now by 13 points. And the hard count pulls the Wildcats off.
Second time the Wildcats have fallen for the hard count on 3rd and short.
First down.
So that hands the Toros a first down, a big one, because it moves them into Sunnyside territory with the ball at the 45-yard line of the Wildcats. Toros have the play call in, head to the line of scrimmage. Sunnyside's defensive set now respects the pass much more than we saw back in the first quarter. Soriano, pump fake, throws. He's got a man wide open and he overthrows him. Either overthrew one receiver or underthrew the other.
Yeah, no, I saw that too. Wonder which one he was going for.
I'm thinking the guy that he overthrew. And then the question becomes, was the receiver running the proper route?
Close to being picked too.
Brings to mind the old Sid Gilman line about the passing game. 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Woody Hayes said the same thing, but they meant something totally different.
Second down and 10 for the Toros. Man in motion is Bass. He's got a man wide open off the fingertips of Pereira.
Pereira looks like he may have cramped up there too.
So the officials are going to take a timeout. So the trainer can attend to the injured Torres High School receiver. Oh, that's a frustrating situation for a quarterback to be battling to close the gap on a 13-point lead, have a receiver wide open, and the ball just go off the fingertips.
Yeah, right after having 2 other guys open.
Both teams back out onto the field now.
Okay, Memorial is now leading Bullard 56-0 with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. And Edison's leading Garza 24-20 at the half. Good game.
Soriano going to throw. He's under pressure. He's going to run now. He's got the first down at the 34-yard line.
First down, Torres.
No sense of urgency for the Toros. 1:40 left of the half, or in the 3rd quarter, I should say. Soriano just nonchalantly heads over to the sideline for the play call, jogs back in.
And this is Toros football. You know, you want to chew up the clock. You want to keep things moving. Now Sunnyside's called a timeout. Only 1:24 left in this 3rd quarter, but still plenty of time left. It's just important for him to get into the end zone.
I'm stunned by the Bullard Memorial score. Are you?
Yeah. I figured Memorial was going to win, but if I would have put a final score on it, I would have had like 34-17, something like that, where Memorial's clearly the better team. but they must have been going out with some venom. I don't know what happened before the game, and sometimes when teams are warming up, they get barking at each other a little bit, and emotions get high, and then things like this happen. But I don't look for Memorial to take their foot off the gas against the Knights, but be a running clock in the fourth quarter. And how embarrassing for a team like Bullard, who won the Division II title last year, to be the recipient of a running clock. I'm sure Coach Arax is not going to be impressed with this. And I'm glad he's not sitting next to me right now.
I would imagine that after this game, he'll simply burn the tape.
Yeah, nothing you can learn from something like that.
Soriano, quick pass, has his man. The defenders bounce off of him and gets down inside the 20-yard line to about the 19.
Yeah, it looked like he got sandwiched, and he's the one that kept moving. Now he's feeling a little bit. The adrenaline wore off after that.
So Salinas the receiver, and he's down. Can't tell if that was the sandwich blast or if he's cramping up just a little bit. And the way they're going to stretch out that right leg would tell you that it's a cramp.
See this one again. Yeah, that was some good contact there.
Well, I'm very impressed with this quarterback, Jose Soriano, certainly an underclass player. And his passing skills, particularly quick passing, quick release, very crisp ball. He's an impressive young quarterback.
I agree completely. And when he's had to take off and, tuck the pig in, he's made some good things happen.
Indeed he has. So he's got Torres at the 20-yard line. It's a 1st and 10. They're playing catch-up, trailing 34-21 with a minute 18 in the third quarter.
The band left at halftime, Dan.
Wouldn't surprise me if they have a band competition someplace tomorrow.
Nonetheless, you just sack up on a few hours of sleep and go and do your best. I'm not a proponent of bands leaving games early.
I think the band's a great part of the game, and disappoints me when they leave as a fan, but I certainly understand.
I agree with you halfway.
Soriano has a man, and he's got plenty of running room. In the end zone, touchdown Torres.
That was Alan Avila, and it just kind of hung up, and he just grabbed it, and he was on the move when he caught it.
Soriano to Avila, 20-yarder. Take another look.
And he caught that in full gallop.
Now the question is, go for two, or now they are indeed going to kick the PAT.
That was nearly blocked. Sunnyside really made some penetration. I don't know how he did get that one off.
So it cuts the score to 34-28 with 54 seconds to play here in the third quarter. An impressive drive by Torres, and of course their defense will now be looking for the stop and an opportunity to put the football back in the hands of the offense and try to take the lead in this game.
Yeah, they took that down 85 yards and took over 7 minutes off the clock.
So it certainly makes that second quarter drive where they failed to come away with any points look all the more important.
Yeah. Along with that fumble on the kickoff return. These things happen, where you have these 14-point or 12 to 15-point turnarounds on one play. It happens. It's part of the game. Wow.
Impressive boot.
I'm going to have to drop Clovis West into this conversation. I don't know the young man's name that's their kicker, but after they score a touchdown, and this year that's plenty of touchdowns or field goals, every kick goes into the end zone. And that's one of your best weapons. Make the other team start on their own 20. And I think West got 2 or 3 field goals against Edison earlier in the season. You have a guy that can give you consistent 3 points when you're inside the 30-yard line and kick it in the end zone for every kickoff. Man, I love that.
Well, many of these young men playing soccer and women as well. We've seen some female kickers playing varsity football, but soccer players certainly should recognize that. I think we had a hold there, and a little surprised that wasn't called. Whistled out of bounds.
I'm confused. Okay.
But what I started to say was soccer players should recognize that kicking for the football team enhances their opportunities at a scholarship. Colleges are looking for place kickers and punters.
And no doubt about it, and I think the coaches should be out, pounding on the soccer field and talking to the coaches and getting some candidates out there.
Quick toss to the near side of C.J. Jones. Actually, correction. Sanjay Burton with the catch. The 32-yard line and a first down for Sunnyside. Wilson keeps it now. He's trying to find some running room.
He's got some.
Has a little bit, but he's pushed out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line.
Wilson has real good ball sense of where he is at almost all times. See this one again.
So second down at about 5. Wilson, Burton. Might have picked up a yard and a half.
That play looked initially like it was going to go for some bigger yards. It didn't look like the Torres were really ready for that, and they were expecting something else.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
That's going to be the last play of the third quarter.
Indeed it is. We're going to switch sides for the final quarter of play tonight in this quest for sole possession of first place in the North Yosemite League. Sunnyside High on top of Torres High, 34-28. Plenty of homecoming spirit here in Sunnyside Stadium. Number of fans across the way that have made the drive down from Madera. Fans of the newest high school in Madera, the 3rd high school in Madera, Matilda Torres High, in its 3rd year.
Yeah, a lot of this growth, Madera, the new school out in Sanger, well, actually closer to where we're sitting here at Sunnyside than it is the downtown of Sanger.
Not too far out.
And I kind of question how they put them in the NYL their first year of playing. I thought they should have done like Torres last year with their young players and went independent and had a little bit more manageable of a schedule.
Big gap across midfield and a first down for Sunnyside. Daquan Jones, the ball carrier. So the placement puts the nose of the football right on the 50-yard line. Jones gets about 4, maybe 5 yards before he is pulled down.
The Sunnyside offensive line, when you get to where you're running constantly like that, those offensive linemen love being in attack mode like that. They got a real good push on that.
2nd and 5. Jones in the backfield alongside Tanner Wilson. To the air, looking for C.J. Jones. out of bounds, but we've got a penalty flag flying.
There's a lot of contact in there.
I thought both players pushing, but they're going to call it on the defense.
Yeah, they're walking backwards.
Curious to take a look at that if the folks in the truck have it. As it certainly looked as though both the offense and the defense, and you see the defender now pleading his case that he was held and then shoved as well.
That penalty will give the Wildcats a first down.
And you know the question on that, Fred, was that a catchable ball? That ball was well outside, out of bounds.
Yeah, it was definitely not a catchable ball.
Wilson wanted to throw it. Now he's under extreme pressure, and he goes down, and he loses about 9 yards.
Kept trying to make things happen and just couldn't avoid the trouble.
And, you know, I'm looking at the 25-yard line, and I'm seeing an offensive lineman.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Yeah, with a couple of the calls that we had earlier, and then seeing something like that, it can raise a question or two.
Indeed. Second down and 19. Wilson wants to go to the air. He's got his receiver at the 30-yard line. Nice grab by Sanjay Burton, who's had a big night.
Yeah, that's much more manageable on third down. Now, that was a nice catch by Burton.
He's got a receiver open in the end zone, leaping at the goal line. They're going to place it at about the 2. Torres is saying that they picked that ball off.
I haven't seen the officials make any sign.
I agree, but I also am watching the coaches and the players on the other sideline. They believe they came up with that football.
It looked there like he did also.
Well, the Wildcats up to the line of scrimmage. Give goes to the back. He's spinning, fighting, and isn't going to gain any yardage. Daquan Jones, the ball carrier.
Inside the goal line, second and goal.
34-28 our score, 9:15 to play. Winner of this game leaves Sunnyside Stadium with sole possession of first place in the North Yosemite League. Tanner Wilson gonna roll to the near side, looking, now he's gonna try to run it, now he tosses, it is complete for a touchdown, Shamar Jones.
Nice catch there by Shamar Jones. Wilson held that till the last minute, and Torres was buy and run the whole time, and even with that, that was a heck of a catch by Jones.
Absolutely.
Used all of his height and reach to pull that one down.
So it's a 40-28 game. And the Wildcats will go for 2. Wilson, and it's Shamar Jones with a 2-point conversion.
Those wide receivers, Dan, boy, those guys are some weapons. Give them a little bit of space, and they're pulling them out of the air.
So with 8:55 to go, Sunnyside has extended the lead. It's a two-possession game. 42-28, Wildcats on top.
Well, the game over at Memorial's all done, and it did end up 56-0. Must have played with that running clock there in the fourth quarter.
Not just the lopsided win, but the shutout loss, another rarity for Bullard.
Certainly. Matter of fact, I cannot remember the last time they've been shut out.
Well, another pooch kick, do you think, Fred? Or a squibber?
I think they're going to pooch it. Yep.
Picked it up at the 28 and might have picked up a yard.
You know, Wilson seems to have something on that ball when he kicks it across like that. It looks like it's going to go out of bounds, and it just stopped. And the Torres learned their lesson this time around. They picked it up and saved themselves about 10 yards.
So big possession for Torres as they're now trying to keep pace. It's a two-possession game. They trail 42-28, desperately in need of two scores. They can ill afford to have a drive stall and give the ball back to Sunnyside.
Yeah, just like the last one, they got to get some get points on the board again.
Soriano hit as he threw, you're right. So 42 points on the board for Sunnyside. They came in North Yosemite League play, averaging 47 and a half.
They're just about there.
There's one of the more high-scoring offenses in the Valley. Four times this season, Sunnyside has scored 50 points or more. Soriano, Bass. Gets away from the defender to the 32-yard line. And he's 6 yards shy of the first down.
I like their odds in their last two games scoring over 50 points a game, too.
Elaborate for our listeners and viewers.
Yes.
Who do they have their last two games?
McLean and Sanger West. And this is not a team that prides itself in holding the score down once they get the lead.
Soriano, just beyond the reach of his receiver, Josiah Salinas. And they have come up to the down they did not want to come up to. Fourth down.
Yeah.
And while we have 8 minutes still to play, turning the ball back over to Sunnyside at this point, down 2 scores, is not what Torres wants to do. Sunnyside does not even put a return man back. As they let this ball bounce, Torres downs it at the 35 of the Sunnyside High Wildcats.
And not a bad punt, but the Wildcats, 2-score lead, 2-touchdown lead, and they've got the ball, and things are looking pretty good for the Wildcats. Well, they are not mathematically the NYL champions. You can pretty much put that crown on them tonight.
They're definitely in the driver's seat, and they are an overwhelming favorite going into the last 2 games of the season. Torres has given them a battle, but at this stage it would appear that the Toros have run out of fuel. Wide open receiver, but he unable to come up with it as Wilson's pass is just short.
Second down.
Yeah, I think this is the time in the game where you really just want to, put it on the ground and wrap things up.
Three receivers to the top of your screen, but indeed they keep the ball on the ground. Dixon, the running back, and he's driven out of bounds, and a penalty flag flies.
Flag on the field.
So, personal foul and a face mask is the call.
Don't see a lot of face mask calls on the offense, but you do get that in the line play occasionally, but you just don't see it called very often.
We've had, with the offense, just the one tonight, but we have two defensive face mask penalties tonight.
Which is not at all uncommon.
Correct. So that marches the ball back to the 21-yard line. Wilson thought he had a couple of receivers available. Now comes back and he's got Dixon out of the backfield. Dixon trying to spin free. And he is brought down just shy of midfield. The Toros act as though they came away with the football. And indeed, that is the call. So the side judge motioned in the direction, and you can see the anger on the part of the Torres coaches.
Yeah.
As Sunnyside hangs onto the football and goes deep. And it is intercepted. Indeed, this time it is in fact an interception.
The Wildcats gained about 40 yards on those two turnovers.
Angel Pereira comes up with the football. And Torres will take over the ball at the 10-yard line.
Well, they still have an opportunity, but, they've got to strike a little faster than they're accustomed to. And now Sunnyside's to the point where they can really adjust their defense. Instead of sticking 8 in the box, they can put up about 3 in the box and tear the Toros to pass.
7:02 left on the clock here. With the Toros attempting to erase a 2-touchdown deficit. Jose Soriano coming in from the sideline. And that's the one thing about their play calling. It is not done with any sense of urgency.
Yeah, this is not a great offense to play from behind with.
To the air. Has his man. Ball is on the ground. Is it an incomplete pass or a fumble?
They said they rule him down over there, but it was kind of a delayed call.
Looks as though it's going to be a loss of a couple of yards.
Ball was caught.
So the football remains on the 10-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10. Soriano overthrows his receiver.
Geez, with a pump action there, he could have ran for about 15 yards too. There's nobody in front of him.
And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Toros. Vitally important play for them. 6:46 on the clock. Pass, he's got a man, and the ball is knocked loose by the defender, incomplete.
Yeah, Fang did a good job just getting his hand in there.
So 4th down, and on comes the punting unit with 6:41 to play. Torres is going to boot the ball back to Sunnyside.
Is it louder than usual here, Dan, or is it just me?
It is fairly loud tonight. Homecomings will do that, even with the band having left.
All right.
Punting out of the end zone. Sunnyside does not put a man back, as the ball will roll just beyond midfield before the Torres Toros down it at the 49.
I remember Clovis East used to do that when they would seldom put a guy back to field a punt. You weren't going to get called for clipping, and you weren't going to fumble.
Well, there were a lot of times where Clovis East wouldn't put a single pass up in the air either.
I know we had a couple of games that we did with them that were over in like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I always enjoyed the double wing offense. Works really good when you have better players on the other team too.
Wilson trying to get around the corner. He does so, and he's got the 1st down.
And Wilson runs his way to another 1st down, Wildcat.
Interesting, I just read about a school in Florida in the Orlando area that was using the old 1930s single wing in short yardage situations.
Really?
And a school in Kentucky found out about it. They tried it out, and now they're using it 50% of the time.
All right, I like that.
Quick pass, C.J. Jones, and he continues to shirk tackler after tackler down to the 25-yard line. And a 1st down.
And now Torres is just trying to grab the ball. Tackling is secondary. They're just trying to go for a strip right now. And at this stage of the game, you know,
that's all they can do. You're right. You're right. Give going. Wilson's going to keep it. Stuck it in the gut of the back and pulled it back away from Dixon and picked up about 5 yards. Wilson lobbing it well out of bounds. He couldn't find an open receiver. 4:46 left in this one. Sunnyside up by 2 scores, 42-28 on the Torres Toros in this battle for first place in the North Yosemite League. Wilson.
Yeah, that was a pretty obvious holding penalty there.
No question. We can hear the coaches in the booth next to us not too happy that they didn't see a penalty flag on that. So big 1st down now for Sunnyside.
I've been pretty lenient on the officials this season, Dan, but I can tell you with a great deal of sincerity, this is not the best officiated game I've seen.
Well, they know how difficult it is to get officials and how much they work with them. And another touchdown pass. C.J. Jones, the receiver. Sunnyside from 12 yards out is on the board once again. C.J. Jones on the receiving end.
I like how C.J. Jones did that. He caught it, and he wasn't sure if he was in or not, so he thought about it, and then he bounced back in. Let's check this out. Okay, yeah, okay. He did have it, but he had to make sure.
As the Wildcats line up to go for two. Wilson. Incomplete to the far corner. And with 4:28 remaining to be played.
Looked like Shamar Jones is getting held a little bit on that one too. That one, to be fair, it was a long ways away, but it would have been pretty tough to catch that one under any circumstances.
Well, Sunnyside with their third touchdown of the second half, up 48-28 now. Near impossible challenge at this stage for the Torres Toros to score 3 times and convert 3 extra points in order to take a lead here in the final 4.5 minutes of the game.
Definitely an uphill climb.
An impressive half of football by the Sunnyside High Wildcats.
Well, the second half, yeah, they came out and they've totally controlled, except for that one drive the Toros had, they've totally controlled this.
2 points away from their 5th 50-point game of the season. And they have exceeded their scoring average coming in North Yosemite League play, which was 47.5. They now have 48 on the board.
Always good to exceed it, isn't it? That half point.
So the pooch kick fielded at the 25. A lot of running room. He's up near midfield and he's flung out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it, but picked up at least 25 yards on that return. So the Toros in desperate need of a score on this drive. Opportunity is slipping away from them in the final 4:22.
Never a good sign when the guys come off the sidelines with their hands on their hips.
Very true. Body language says a lot.
Fatigue can really do that to a team.
On the give down to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 20 yards on the run by Salinas.
Got a down Wildcat over there. He's on his feet. Briefly got the wind knocked out of him, I would suppose. Yeah, he landed on his helmet over there. That's Noah Gonzalez coming off rather slowly.
With a rib cage landing on a helmet, that'll knock the wind out of a player at the very least. So 1st and 10 for Torres from the Sunnyside 30-yard line. Jose Soriano wants to throw it. He's got a man open, and it's just beyond his reach. But I think we've got a pass interference call coming.
Yeah, there's definitely interference on that.
Jesus Moreno, the intended receiver.
Incomplete pass intended for Angel Dorada.
You know, those are pass interferences, though, that, okay, he was beaten, and the guy's probably going to catch it. He might
number
score.
4.
May as well grab him.
That's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
So 1st down on the call. That'll put the football at the 20-yard line.
Penalty will take the ball to the Wildcat 20-yard line. First and 10.
48-28, 3:56 remaining on the clock from Sunnyside Stadium. Homecoming night tonight. Glad you've joined us here on CMAC. Give going to Pereira around the far end, down inside the 10-yard line before he's ridden out of bounds.
Yeah, he just kept going. He got inside the 5 there before they finally slowed him down.
Sets up a 1st and goal now for the Toros. Terrific running. Not what you would normally be doing in terms of play calling. Down at 3 scores with just over 3 minutes to play, but it's sure chewing up the yardage for the Toros. Up under center now. And a timeout is taken by Torres High. 2:57 left on the clock. 48-28 Sunnyside. As Joe Marquez wants to talk things over on the far sideline.
Well, they score here. Get an onside kick could make things somewhat interesting.
Always love an onside kick.
Oh, yeah.
Fun part of the game.
Yep.
I know we're getting ahead of ourselves there. They've got to score first, but who knows?
Even to this day, Dana, sometimes they'll go out in the backyard and do a couple of, kicks. Like, okay, this is over 10 yards. Could this be legally done? And I've thrown that out to a few coaches, but they haven't seen fit to do it yet. Now, what's coming in the air are some of the defenses when you just kick it up. If the guy calls for a fair catch, that pretty much kills it right there.
Give goes to Bass down near the goal line. He's in. It's a touchdown. Joseph Bass scoring for Torres High from a couple of yards out. (48-34) our score. As the Toros will go for 1.
The Torres have a good kicking game. They've, I don't know if they really work on this a lot, but I like their punts. They've been between 35 and 40 yards. They haven't looked bad. A couple of kickoffs and one into the end zone. They haven't missed any extra points.
Well, we've got a bit of drama coming up here, as no doubt Torres High will be attempting an onside kick, as they're down by 13 points to Sunnyside.
Definitely have your good hands guys up there at the 50-yard line.
And they have exceeded their highest scoring output thus far this season. They scored 34 in a win over McLean, 34 in their win over Sanger West, 28 against Madera to open the season, 26 in their win over Roosevelt, but 35 here. This is their highest scoring effort thus far this season.
Guy left a little too soon.
False start called against the Toros.
So that marches it back 5 yards to the 35-yard line, where they'll try it all over again.
Ball now be kicked from the Torres 35-yard line.
Clovis East did this on Clovis West last week, and they recovered, but it was ruled to be offside. They did it again. Same guy here.
Anxious to try and get in there and make a play. My all-time favorite onside kick, and I can't recall the year, it's been a number of years ago. Colorado was playing Nebraska, and the Colorado kicker went on and played many years in the NFL. I'm at a loss for his name. But he kicked a line drive off the chest of the Nebraska up man, and it carried him right back, and the kicker was able to pounce on the football and recover it.
All right. I should remember that, or I should have remembered it.
Oh, now they pooch it,
Ball kicked out of bounds.
and it rolls out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
It was just pretty much a disaster all the way around. Well, they have 2 timeouts left, but if I was a betting man right now, which I'm not, it would take some real odds to get me to lay down a coin on the Toros.
So 2:52 remaining on the scoreboard. Looking to see where the ball will be spotted. It appears right at midfield.
Wildcats will have the ball on the 50-yard line. First and 10.
So leading 48-35, Sunnyside takes over the football at midfield. The Toros desperate for a stop or a turnover. Low snap. Wilson hits the safety valve. That's Dixon trying to get some yardage. Gets the first down across the 40-yard line. Is rather than tackling him, the Torres players are trying to strip the football away from him. Clock begins. It's inside of 2:28.
That's about all you can do right now. You're trying to get the ball turned over one way or another, but still got to stop them.
Wilson overthrows his receiver.
Incomplete pass intended for Sanjay Burton.
Burton down at the 2-yard line. Burton, I noticed him on the sideline a while ago, and they were working on his hip. And I don't know if he took a hit at some point in the game and suffered an injury, but the trainers were working on his hip. And I wonder if going down there aggravated it.
He's coming off a little bit gingerly there. You'd think something like that, okay, let the young man rest here for the rest of the game anyway.
So Burton being helped off the field by the athletic trainers as the two teams huddle up with their head coaches. Sunnyside back out on the field, and Torres coming back out now. Second down and 10. Give goes to Daquan Jones.
Daquan Jones
Picks up 4 on the carry. And the clock continues to tick down. 1:51 to play.
Third down.
That'll be third down and 6 yards to go for a first down for the Sunnyside High Wildcats.
Got Vang in at quarterback for the Wildcats.
Oh, and he's going to throw deep. With a 13-point lead. And the ball sails over the head of C.J. Jones and out of the end zone.
And stops the clock at 1:16. Fourth down.
So fourth down play for the Wildcats. Vang wrapped up in the arms of the defensive end and wrestled to the ground, and the ball goes back over to Torres High.
Hold on the ball, tackle made by Joseph Bass.
So 1:06 left on the clock. Torres takes over at their own 40-yard line, trailing by 13 points.
Well, we know what's happening now, and the Wildcats are not going to be stacking the box like they did earlier in the game.
No chance of that. So Regano with no choice but to throw the football away as he was being wrestled to the turf by Chance Harris.
Tom Brady would have been able to draw a roughing the passer on that one. Did you see the repeat of that? That was comical.
And I guess he was fined $11,000 today for kicking that defensive player on that play.
Really?
Yeah.
It'd be like us throwing a quarter against the wall.
Soriano has a man wide open. That's Moreno. About 3 yards shy of a first down. He's got to cross midfield to get a fresh set of downs. So a third down now for the Toros. And Torres High wants a timeout here with 41 seconds left. 48-35 our score. And a third down and about 2 for the Toros. Plenty of enthusiasm here at Sunnyside High tonight. A lot of student participation in this homecoming.
And this is one of the noisiest crowds I've seen a Sunnyside crowd come up with. The crowd's pretty much dissipated by now, but they were really rocking and making some noise early in this game.
Indeed they were. To the point where we were pricing some wire cutters.
And not just in jest either.
So big third down play. 3rd and 2 for the Toros. Need to get across midfield for the first down. Soriano under a rush. Overthrows his receiver and it's incomplete.
An incomplete pass that will bring up fourth down.
This could be it. 4th down, a couple of yards to go.
Three receivers at the top of your screen. Soriano looking for one of them. Unloads, goes to the up man, And he is going to be brought down for a loss, so that'll turn the ball back over to Sunnyside. And for all intents and purposes, the Torres high night is over, as the clock has just 27 ticks left on it, with the Wildcats leading it 48-35.
I think they can still run 4 more plays with 27 seconds left here.
Very true. Wildcats a little slow to get back out onto the field. As they take a knee, and they're going to let the clock run out and wrap up this game. As these two teams will line up at midfield for the post-game handshake. So, Fred, I think coming in, we expected some high scoring. It was a battle throughout the first half.
Yeah, you know, the first half was pretty much what we thought it was going to be. You know, the Toros, that first quarter, they game planned it real well. They executed. We didn't have a lot of mistakes or turnovers. And, you know, going right before the half, when Sunnyside scored that touchdown with no time left, that completely changed how the game was. If the Toros would have went in with the slight would have been 21-20 there at the half, we may have seen a different ball game in the second half, but that's all ifs and buts, and we know that doesn't mean anything. What the final score was 48-35. But you know, this was a game, and that was the point. And a lot of times you can look back at a game that's hard fought like this and find maybe 1 or 2 plays that change a complexion. And the one huge one that stood out is when Sunnyside fumbled that kick. The Torres took it in for a touchdown, and it was ruled down, and it clearly wasn't as we saw. That would have given them a 2-touchdown lead. And would have Sunnyside been able to come back from that? Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. But the fact is, they won the game, and you know, when you put up 48 points, you're not going to lose too many football games. And they have a heck of an offensive machine going on right now.
So the Sunnyside High Wildcats with a 48-28 victory now stand alone in first place in the North Yosemite League with 2 games remaining. Torres High slips back into second place. And an interesting final 2 games remain on their schedule. Glad you joined us tonight here on CMAC for North Yosemite League football. Be with us again next Friday night at 7:30 for more high school football action. For the coach, Fred Clark, I'm Dan Taylor. Thanks for being with us. Thanks to our crew. Good night, everybody.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Hedrick's Chevrolet, celebrating 75 years in the Valley, and State Center Community College District, covering Fresno, Reedley, Oakhurst, Madera, and Clovis. Thank you for your support.